All right, we're going to take a look at the Hellcat 380 by IO Incorporated. Made in the USA, made in Monroe, North Carolina. Went by and picked this up yesterday morning at my buddy at Upstate Gun Group, and he had transferred it for me. And here we go. Just have to say, I really like that. Of course, the gun is unloaded. Just some of the things that you get, of course, join the NRA. You get a nice little owner's manual. You do get a spent shell. There is a trigger lock that's included. Then we have a little stainless steel magazine, 6 rounds, 6+1. And we have a little pouch. Excellent just to protect your investment. And then we have a little catalog from the IO Incorporated factory, and of course they produce the AK-47s, American-made AK-74s. They import the Polish Burl Archer. Now the Hellcat was made for concealed carry or as a backup for law enforcement. A very small, thin design, and of course this is very reminiscent of the Ruger LCP or the Keltec P3AT or the Taurus TCP. But the one thing to notice is that it's a very popular design. In fact, Keltec and Ruger have had a lot of issues keeping up with the production and the demand. Because the Hellcat is really similar, I'm going to do a side-by-side review coming up next on the Ruger, the Keltec, and the Taurus compared to the Hellcat. Now the length of the pistol is just over 5 inches, 5.16 inches. It's a little under an inch, it's 0.82 inches. And then the height right here is 3.6. The barrel is 2 3/4 inches in length. And then with an empty magazine, it only weighs 9.4 ounces. You know, one of the things about these small subcompacts that I really like is that it is super concealable. One prime example is my 642. And this pistol I have with me when I'm at the house all the time. It's so lightweight, it's so easy to carry. This also, so lightweight, so easy to carry. I think this is going to find its way as my EDC for a while in my back pocket, in a pocket holster, because it's almost as though it's not there. This type of concealed carry will go where other guns will not. It does come in 3 different finishes. It does come on black, which we have here. It comes with a nickel slide and a black frame. And then it comes with a black slide and a green frame, which is really nice looking. A couple of things though, when these were first introduced, there were a couple of issues that they had, which they have corrected. And one of them was the extractor. They beefed up the extractor. They made it much more positive to be able to give you a lot more reliability. It does feature also a brand new slide design, and it just gives it more durability when firing and really beefs it up just a little bit, which increases the overall function of the gun and the accuracy. The stainless magazine does hold 6 in 1. I really like these magazines. It does only come with 1 magazine, and in fact right now I'm going to see if I can get a couple of more to go with this, because I always like to have at least 3 or 4 magazines to go with my pistols. Now one thing I thought interesting, in the owner's manual it says to only shoot brass cased ammo. They do not recommend shooting steel cased. I personally don't shoot steel cased in my guns. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know, but I just like shooting brass, and plus I really like reloading brass. Also, it says in the owner's manual not to dry fire this gun. Most of my pistols I do dry fire. I like to dry fire practice with them, but that's in the owner's manual itself. Now one of the things that I really like is this front bead, and it's a fluorescent green. And back here with the notch, of course the sights are fixed, but back here with this dovetail notch, it really shows up with the black. This is a double action only pistol. Right here you're going to see the hammer, and as you pull the trigger back, you can see the hammer coming back. Now I am going to dry fire this pistol because I wanted to test out the trigger pull. And one of the things about this, it's a very smooth and crisp trigger pull, to the point that honestly I was surprised at how much I like the trigger pull on this. It has a nice full rounded trigger guard. You're going to be able to put a gloved hand in there without too much trouble. Of course, there are no external safeties. You don't really need one. Very similar to your double action revolver. The hammer is resting and it has to come all the way back and forward. Now the fit and the feel of this gun is excellent. There are others, and the Hellcat is one in particular, where it's a little bit rough. Now I personally like the Hellcat and it's fine, but this frame is superior in smoothness and very rounded. Every edge is rounded off. You can just rub your hands over it and there are no points to be caught on. It does have some light lines for texture in the back, and then of course you have these panels here. There's no texturing right here in the front, but it gives you a nice, good, solid feel to it. With the little palm swell here, fits nice. Now, you're not going to get a tight grip around the sides. You're mainly going to be reaching for the back and the front because of the size of this pistol. But the fit and finish is really excellent on this pistol. You know, we were at the factory going through, and it was just amazing at the processes that go through this. But everyone is test fired right there at the company, and they check every bit of the tolerances. Everything is hand fitted together. The magazine does have a small lip here to give you a little bit more leverage with your finger. I can only get 2 fingers around. My pinky goes underneath, but once you take it and you start to shoot it, it fits nicely for what it is. It is a concealed carry. It is an ultimate concealed carry, and it's made that way. One of the things, though, that you're going to find, and I found this with all the other, whether it's the Ruger, the Hellcat, or the Taurus, is that going out to the range, really putting about 50 rounds to 100 rounds is about all you're going to want to shoot. This is not a target pistol. This is not something that you want to sit around and plink with. This is made for self-defense. It's made for super concealed carry, and because of that, there are some trade-offs. But if you need it, this is going to be excellent. You would put this in your pocket, in a pocket holster, or put it in a small inside the waistband holster quicker than you would a larger pistol, and you'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Now, of course, it's very easy to field strip. In fact, you can even take the magazine and use it. What we're going to do is take a little tension off the recoil spring and take our magazine lip and pop out the takedown pin. Then you just pull it out and it moves forward. This will give you another look at the frame itself. There's a metal insert here in the frame, rides all the way back down. So this whole piece here is metal, and then it's inserted into the frame itself. You can see the finish, even the inside. No tool marks, everything is fitted very well. Okay, the guide rod here, and then there are 2 springs. And these 2 springs are going to help with your felt recoil. Here's the barrel. I really want you to take a look at the barrel itself. It's really finely finished. There are so many different guns, especially once you start opening them up and looking in, that are just not finished well on the inside. There are a lot of tool marks. It's very rough. You see the die marks. Here, it's very nicely polished, to be honest with you. They do test fire this at the factory to make sure it functions. Here you can see where it has this small little place here for the sights to sit down low and to be able to see your front sight. And then here's a little scallop. The serrations here are not too aggressive, but yet easy to grab hold of. To reassemble, replace your barrel. Right here is where you're going to want to take your guide rod and seat the back end. For reassembly, just align your slide with your slide rails. Now, one of the things that you'll find, sometimes it's a little tricky, I'll pop my hammer back and it makes it a little easier to set this in. Now, you'll want to bring it back just a little bit to line up your pin. Once it's in, you want to hear that click. Check for function. Back in order. Okay, for our testing, we're going to use some of our Full Metal Jacket HPR 100 grain, and we're going to be using some of the 90 grain jacketed hollow points. Had about 3 malfunctions. I believe it was because the gun was not even lubed at all. So I put a little frog lube on it and started working it in, and I'll give you a heads up as far as how it works from now on. But I think it's out of 100 rounds, 3 rounds, I don't think that's really that bad to break in a brand new pistol right out of the box. As many of you have seen the earlier video where we did go to the IO factory and we watched the process being done. Uli Vegan was just super nice to let us go through, and the crew there was just so helpful in going through all the different processes. And so, you know, and I'll have a link to that video as well attached to this one. I really want to highly recommend the IO Incorporated Hellcat, a great subcompact pistol in .380 ACP that's perfect for CCW, CWP, concealed carry. And I want to thank Uli and the entire crew for making a real high quality product right here in the good USA in North Carolina. And as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more fun gun reviews and sensible survival. God bless America. Long live the Republic. By the way, a little frog lube. Shoot. There's a frog. By the way, a little frog lube will throw that magazine out in a hurry. Shoot. There's a flipping frog. Bullfrog. By the way, that frog lube will throw that magazine out in a hurry.